Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Chief Lego Fanatic. Today we are going to be doing a in-depth look and review of the BMW M1000RR motorcycle. All right, so this is set number 42130. It's rated 18 plus. It's 1,920 pieces. It is the Lego Technic BMW M1000RR motorcycle. I don't typically do Technic sets, and I don't really do vehicle sets outside of the themed ones. However, this one caught my eye, and I saw some people talking about it, so I figured I would check it out, see what happened. This thing took a long time. Usually for a set that's around 2,000 pieces, I expect about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. This one took closer to 4.5, or closer to 5.5, 6 hours. It was extremely difficult. I was actually really surprised. But I'll talk about why that is and why it's not necessarily a plus side in my book. But just to talk about some of the accessories, this is a separate stand. For this one, you would just place it underneath the rear wheel. It gives you an alternative way to demonstrate it. For these are, there's a little space right here for where the dashboard would be. That's what you call it in a car. I'm not a motorcycle person, so if I don't use the correct terms, I'm sorry. But there's space here where the dashboard would go, and there's a couple of different alternative displays that you can use. For this one, this is the primary display. I'll take it off and set it off to the side. Doesn't want to come off. This one actually displays the informational plate that comes with it, and it's pretty intuitive on how the motorcycle sets in. You got these two pegs here and then one in the back. They just fit into the holes, so you can actually turn the bike either direction that you want. This actually only uses a couple of dozen pieces. It's one of the simpler display stands that I have seen. Now, you have this decal. Both of these are decals. The one that's here is a decal. All of these others are all decals. If you have watched my channel at all, you are aware of how much I love, and by love I mean absolutely hate, decals. For this one, I actually specifically held on to these so I could show. Decal, lots of decals, right? It's 2 pages. So many decals on this freaking thing. And if you watch the build video, which I'll link at the end of this one, you can see a lot of them give me a fair amount of trouble, especially these longer ones on the sides. They're really long and they're really thin, so it was really difficult to get them lined up properly. And a lot of them still aren't lined up properly, and I only care so much. Aside from the fact that this is a relatively expensive set, again, I really only care so much. All right, let's turn this thing around and we'll look at the bike itself. All right, and here we have the bike itself. You can see there's this little, I assume it's a handrest or a footrest. This is kind of a crotch rocket, so the footrest is actually back here. You can see the detail of the exhaust, the brakes, and the gearing on the rear wheel, which apparently has decided to come apart. Nice, perfect timing. I'll talk about all this when I give you my thoughts. Like sitting here falling apart as I hold it. Somewhat frustrating. See, just holding it, it's coming apart. Anyways, it's super detailed. You can see where the footrest is. You can see, like I said, all these decals on the side. You actually have the steering column actually turns and does turn the front wheel. The back wheel has a shock absorber back here. The front wheel also has shock absorbers that move in and out. Kind of subtle, so you can't really see it. You can see where the brake lines come in and attach to the steering column here. my finger to where you actually point at right here. You can see where I was talking about the display here for the dashboard. The detailing on the gas tank, along as well as the side. Turn it around to the other side. Looks a little bit of detail. There's a different detailing around the engine compartment here. It does, next to the footrest, it does actually have a clutch that's supposed to shift it between 3 different speeds when the back wheel isn't falling off. Ah! Anyways, this here does actually turn, and there's a ton of gears on the inside of here that actually turn. If you watch while I turn the chain here, you can see the little pins turning that's holding all that gearing on. And you can see one of the gears sitting just inside here. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, it's pretty detailed. Definitely looks like a motorcycle. That's about all I got. Again, I'm not a motorcycle person. It's still a very pretty looking set. I'll give it that. But let me get this thing back on the stand, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on it. All right, now that I got this thing all back together and back on its stand, what do I think of this set? Now, I'm going to preface this by saying that I don't do a lot of pure Technic sets. Now, obviously, a lot of sets that I have use Technic bricks, usually for structure, but this is probably the first pure Technic set that I've done. I think the only actual typical Lego pieces make up this little the backing of this information plate, and then the radiator has some like regular Lego bricks. All the rest of it's Technic. So maybe it's just my inexperience with Technic. It's super frustrating. It's really long. Took me a long time to build. I won't say that it wasn't fun. However, notice the engine compartment. So you can see the engine compartment here. I don't rock it back and forth. The engine compartment is super detailed. You can see all the different gearings inside. They made these special clear bricks for the pistons and the motor. You can't see any of it. I had a very similar comment about the Titanic build. They go into all this awesome detail that I guess is fun for while you're building it, but once it's actually built, you don't actually see any of it. I would actually have to disassemble a significant portion of this set just to be able to show any of that. Like the clear piston pieces. Yeah, I thought maybe you could look down in here and see them, but you can't. Can't see squat. And that's not to mention, like, there's a good dozen gears in here that's supposed to work with the clutch to allow it to shift through multiple different speeds. And you can hear it clicking back and forth as I move this. You can kind of see it moving. See this moving as the gears move through. So that's my biggest frustration. Overall, I'm going to give it a 7 out of a 10. I'm probably going to try to do some more Technic sets as obviously money allows, given that's my biggest limiting factor. I do have the F1 McLaren set ordered. So we'll see how that one goes. Like I say, it might just be my inexperience with Technic. However, I think my next build, my shipment that I got today, is going to be the Nintendo block. Actually, I'll just go pick it up. This one's actually the Super Mario 64 block. This one's actually been out for a while, and I just now decided to get it. So you guys have that to look forward to next time. As always, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, so on and so forth. The channel is still slowly growing. Hopefully we can keep this up, and I can keep bringing you guys new content and better content. Otherwise, for now, I'll see you guys next time.